What's up, Edgy Rock Stars, and welcome to part one of our two-part season finale for Get Your Teach On Live Season 4. I'm your host, Chris Pombano, and on tonight, we have 2 episodes for our season finale. Part 1 is starting right now, and then part 2 is starting at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So, if you're here right now, we want you to share out the magic and let everyone know to tune in to our double feature 2-part finale starting right now. So, go ahead and hit that share button in the above the comments and let everyone know to head on over to Facebook right now for Get Your Teach On's 2-part season finale. Then, after you do that, take out your phone and get ready to start filming an Instagram story to let all the Edgy Rock Stars know to tune in to tonight's finale. We have some big announcements coming your way in the next 2 hours that you do not want to miss. We also have some winners that will be winning some incredible prizes, including a free registration to our 2020 National Conference in Orlando, Florida. So, you know the drill. One last time this season, take out your phone and get ready to start filming an Instagram story. Go ahead, do it right now. Get ready. When I count you down from 3, you're going to start filming on Instagram and then post it and tag Get Your Teach On for an extra chance to win. Are you ready? Start filming in 3, 2, 1. What's up, guys? It's Chris Pombano. Head on over to the Get Your Teach On Facebook page right now, for part 1 of our Get Your Teach On Live season finale. Monique Waters from It's Monique's World and Katie from Little Kinder Warriors are here for part 1 starting right now on Facebook. See you there. Go ahead and post that. Tag me, tag Katie, tag Monique to get part 1 started of our 2-part season finale. Then make sure tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, so in about 1 hour, you head back over here to Facebook for our live season finale with Hope and Wade King, where we'll be making some huge announcements in the world of Get Your Teach On. Now, as everybody knows, Get Your Teach On does not happen without the help of dozens and dozens, over hundreds of individuals all across the country. These are our Magic Squad members. So in the comments, give it up for our Magic Squad members. They come from all different grade levels, all different schools. Some of them have never met each other before, and they come together at every Get Your Teach On conference to make true magic. So we have one of our Magic Squad members here with us tonight. Monique Waters from It's Monique World is here. How you doing, Monique?
Hi, guys. Hi!
What's going on? What's going on? Welcome to your first episode of Get Your Teach On Live.
I know! I'm so excited! I'm so happy to be here.
Yes, we're so excited to have you. So, Monique, for those of people who don't know you, tell them a little bit about yourself, where you teach, a little bit about Monique.
Okay, well, my name's Monique from It's Monique's World, and I teach in Ohio. I teach kindergarten. This is my 6th year of teaching, and I love teaching. I'm super passionate about it. And yeah, I love sharing with people. I love connecting with other educators, and I love Get Your Teach On.
No, yes, there we go. Connection, there we go. So, Monique, you on the Magic Squad, I mean, it's long days. It's a lot to do. There's a lot of work, but you keep the energy at not 100. We can't even stop at 100. Like you bust the roof with that energy every single day at Get Your Teach On. Talk about the Magic Squad and just the energy that they bring to the conference. So give everyone an inside look. All season long, we've been giving an inside look into the sessions, but give everyone an inside look into the behind the scenes of the Magic Squad. So what does it take to be on the Magic Squad, and what are the things that you all are doing behind the scenes that truly, truly make the magic?
Well, first of all, Magic Squad is the perfect name for the Magic Squad because it truly is magical. The whole entire thing, it's just like from beginning to end, you see these empty rooms that just are nothing like the magic that you see when you walk into the rooms. And it's just like everyone is so happy and excited to be there, but it is a lot of hard work, a lot of hours, a lot of not sleeping. You leave, I remember the first time I did that, I was like, my feet have never felt this pain before. But then when you see everyone come in and you see all the excitement and just how beautiful and engaging and wonderful everything looks, it's like, oh, okay, so all that work was worth it. But it's really there is just so much behind the scenes things. And then we're constantly changing things out and putting new things in there to make sure that everyone has everything for their sessions, and every single person that is attending there can leave there feeling good and feeling like, oh, wow, they really cared about me. They really took the time to make sure that everything that we were doing here today was so well put together. So it's a lot of work. It's exhausting, but it is so worth it. And everyone is just so willing to help each other. And I think that that's the best part, is that you get some of the most outstanding, amazing educators across America that want to come and they just want to make magic for other teachers. And when you get people like that together, it is truly magical.
And that, I love what you just said, that everyone is willing to help out and lend a helping hand. And from the presenters to the Magic Squad to all our sponsors, everyone, no matter what, is willing to lend that hand to create that magic for educators that come for 2 days. They probably are doing subplans. They might be burnt out at their school, to create this experience for them that really takes it next level. So it's a true community as a Magic Squad. So talk a little bit about the community at Get Your Teach On, not just of Magic Squad and presenters and the team, but of the educators that attend the conference as well. So talk a little bit about the community that Edu Rockstars will experience by coming to a Get Your Teach On conference.
So one of the things you said is like that, Monique, you keep your energy on 100 while you're there. And like I said, like it's a lot of work. And I don't know if I would be able to keep my energy on 100 if the educators that weren't attending weren't giving me that same energy. Everyone is just so excited and enthused and like just happy to be there. And so you're just surrounded by all of these people who are just, they're looking, they may be burned out, they may be tired, and they're just looking for ways to sit there and add something new or add something different. And you bring all of these people together and the energy is just amazing. And then you can make these lifelong connections. Some of my best teacher friends are people that I've met at Get Your Teach On, because we're all people looking for the same thing. We're looking for something that we can do in our classrooms to make our classrooms better. Or maybe we're just looking for people that are our people, and you can find your people there. And so the community, it's crazy, the community there. It's just a bunch of people who want to be there, who are happy to be there, who love teaching and just want to be better. And it's the best. It's the absolute best.
I'm smiling. Everything you're saying, I just can't stop smiling. And it's so true that a lot of teachers come by themselves to Get Your Teach On. Even our Magic Squad members sometimes come by themselves, and within 2.5 days, you have now best friends that last like forever. Monique and I don't think we've seen each other since last summer, maybe. And we could have we almost missed this episode because we were just catching up on the phone, but we've met at these conferences and the energy is just incredible. And you walk away with this community of educators, like Monique said, who think like you, who has the same vision of you, and they have that energy that you have. So Monique, don't go anywhere because I want to talk a little bit about how you build community in your classroom. But first, we have a surprise for everyone watching from our friends at Really Good Stuff. And we know they love the Magic Squad and they love teachers. So check it out.
Hi, it's Angela from Really Good Stuff, and I just want to say we love the Magic Squad. They do so much for Get Your Teach On, all the presenters, and even for the vendors. The amount of work and effort they put into everything they do can be seen all throughout Get Your Teach On. If you haven't got to see the Magic Squad in action, it's something you have to do someday, but you have to come to a Get Your Teach On conference. And if you do come to Get Your Teach On, make sure you stop by the Really Good Stuff booth. Today, what I want to do to celebrate the Magic Squad is to give away 2 $50 gift cards to Really Good Stuff, where you can buy anything you want. Bins, games, other curriculum items, it's up to you. So, I also want to say Really Good Stuff loves this new format. The education, the tips that have come across these episodes are just awesome. So, if you want to win one of those $50 gift cards, comment below how many episodes of this season's Get Your Teach On Facebook Live that you've seen. Even if you didn't watch them live, even if you go back and rewatch them, that counts. So comment below for a chance to win one of these $50 gift cards. We'll see you next time.
Thanks to our friends at Really Good Stuff, our presenting sponsor of Get Your Teach On for all of 2019, and our presenting sponsor for every episode of Get Your Teach On Live this season. And we know that season 4 brought you all the episodes, all the presenters, all the behind the scenes inside looks into Get Your Teach On. So thanks to our friends at Really Good Stuff in believing in the magic of Get Your Teach On and sponsoring this season. So you heard Angela in the comments below. Let us know how many episodes you've watched. If you haven't missed one, let us know in the comments, and you can walk away with one of those $50 Really Good Stuff gift cards. Now, Monique, we talked about the Magic Squad being community, but I want to know, you teach kindergarten. In the first few, I want to say weeks, but I know it's more like months of kindergarten. You're just working on rules, procedures, but one of the most important things of kindergarten and any grade level is building that community within your classroom. So give some tips to the teachers at home. How do you build community in your classroom?
Okay, so Building a community and having relationships with my students is honestly the number one thing and the most important thing. So there are a few different things that I do. And one of them, like, I reflected about honestly a lot today. And because it can seem like it's taking a lot of time, but really it doesn't. So every single morning, I ask my students if they have any worries that they feel like are going to bother them throughout the school day. Now, at the beginning of the year in kindergarten, like, their worries are going to be like, oh, that's not really a worry. Like, they're like, there's a monster in my closet. And you're like, no, there's not. But today, like, one of my kids was like, I missed the bus this morning. And had I have not known that, that student could have went on the day acting different. Maybe they would have had some behaviors and I didn't understand why they were happening. But that really helped me connect to that student and be able to say, oh my gosh, that must have been so scary for you. What happened? And just taking that 5 minutes to just ask them, like, what's going on? How are you feeling today? It makes such a huge difference. Like, that is like my number one. I make sure I do that every single day. Do you have any worries? Do you have anything going on? And they really start to understand, like, okay, this isn't really a worry that I need to share at school. Like, this is something, but that's a number one thing that helps. And then teaching in elementary school, we don't have sports teams. So, like, I would see a lot of my teachers who teach high school going to their kids' basketball games and things like that. And I was like, oh, I want to support my kids. I want to see what they're doing outside the classroom, but we don't have leagues within our school. So I send home an invitation at the beginning of the year. And what they do is they can invite me to something that's important to them. So I've gone to my students' birthday parties, basketball games, soccer games, all of these things that they do on leagues within their cities or their hometowns and things like that, where I'm able to go out and show them like they really matter. Like, just the other day, I got to go horseback riding with one of my students. And I was like, I get to ride a horse and I get to hang out with my kid outside of school. And then, of course, just making sure to stay in constant connection with my parents, reaching out to them, asking them if they need anything, are all great ways to help build community within your classroom.
I love that you said relationships come first in the classroom, because you're not going to be able to teach any content if you don't have that community built in those relationships, not only with your students, but like you said, with parents as well. So let us know in the comments, how do you build a community in your classroom? And then after, you can scroll through the comments and check out all the ways. Monique, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We're so excited to have you, and I can't wait to see you at an upcoming conference. Monique Waters, everybody. And Monique, let everyone know where they can follow you on social media to see what the amazing things you're doing in your classroom.
It's Monique's World, but it's first, like ITS Monique's World on everything. Instagram,
it's Monique's World.
Twitter, Facebook, mostly Instagram, YouTube. Yeah, it's Monique's World. And thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Monique. All right, everybody. Now, like I said, this is just part one of our Get Your Teach On season finale, and it's not over yet. Right now, I want to welcome one of my good friends. Katie Mense is here, a member of the Get Your Teach On team working in our K1 room. Katie, how you doing?
Good. How are you, Chris?
I'm great. So, Katie, your session at Get Your Teach On is all about science, integrating science for our young learners and really making it hands-on and exciting for them. So I'm going to turn things over to you to get right into your session to talk a little bit about how you can integrate science into your classroom. And then after, we're going to talk a little bit more about science with Katie. All right, Katie, are you ready?
I am.
All right, take it away. Here's Katie Mense with her science session from Get Your Teach On.
Okay, so I'm just going to give you guys a little sneak peek about my session that I do in the K1 room. So it's called the Science MASH, and the letters in the word MASH actually stand for Meet the Standards, Adapt, Stimulate Critical Thinking, and Hands-on Learning. At Get Your Teach On, we are all about engagement and bringing that fun and excitement to the classroom. But the most important thing, you'll never hear any of us talk about that without saying how important, meeting those standards are, and bringing the rigor in as well. So the first thing that I talk about is meeting the standards. And when we talk about the standards for science in kindergarten, they come from two sources. We have the NGSS standards, and we also have Common Core. The NGSS standards are more specific scientific concepts, and then the Common Core actually integrates the science into everything that we're teaching. So when you focus on the NGSS standards, there's like maybe five standards. when you hit those standards, you're not done. Common Core integrates it throughout everything. And so you should be really integrating science every day and with everything that you do. So if we can look at the first slide in the session, again, first we're going to talk about meeting the standards, adapting, stimulating critical thinking skills, and hands-on learning. On the next slide, as I was talking about, the NGSS standards, that is when you include building detailed understanding of specific scientific concepts. So again, when you hit those standards, you are not done. It's not over. You are only integrating vertically. You want to integrate horizontally, which means introducing more vocabulary, developing higher level scientific literacy. When you think about Common Core, the words that come to mind are analyzing, citing evidence, hypothesizing, things like that. So when you look at Common Core, you really should be just integrating science throughout everything that you're doing. Okay, so that brings us to the next part of the presentation, which is adapting. And when we think about kindergarten, a lot of times we don't have that science curriculum. We have our literacy block, we have our math block, but you really shouldn't be thinking about them like in blocks. You should be integrating everything throughout your day, which helps reinforce skills and content in all subject areas. It makes more time for science without taking away from all those other subjects. And it allows teachers to address subjects in a more meaningful way. On the next slide, I kind of talk about just one little example of what that all means. So for example, like during your Easter unit, might be kind of hard to think of ways to integrate science. This is just one example where you really gotta dig in and think about how can you integrate science into something like that. So this is just a little story called The Easter Bunny's Assistant. And in this story, there's a skunk, and he is just so excited about Easter. He is excited about dyeing the eggs. He's excited about hiding them. He just gets so excited. And what happens when a skunk gets excited? Well, he stinks. So, that brings up a lot of questions for kids. And you always want them to be thinking, what are you wondering about? Always asking him, those higher level thinking questions. And so that is a way for you to kind of bring in some of that nonfiction, bring in some of that science into something like this. Why does the skunk stink? Why does that happen? And so it's, a way for you to bring in that science, bring in that nonfiction, and just integrate it into everything you're doing. So you're not taking away from the literacy time in your classroom. You're just bringing that science into whatever you're teaching. Okay, so that's just one little example of a way that you might integrate. And then that brings us to the next part of the presentation, which is one of my most favorite things to talk about, is stimulating critical thinking skills. Okay, so critical thinking is powered by play. Let's say that again. Critical thinking is powered by play, which we do not do enough of in the primary grades. It is vital that we are letting our kids learn through play. It's so much more meaningful, so much more engaging. And really, critical thinking is just reflective and independent thinking. Okay, so when the kids are playing, when they've got their hands on things, it really just helps with that critical thinking. And ways to really stimulate that critical thinking are things like predicting, hypothesizing, guess who, just play, creating a foundation, wondering, problem solving, all of those kinds of things. And in my session, I really talk about so many ways that you can stimulate those skills. On the next slide, specifically. This is just one little super simple thing that you can implement in classroom to help stimulate that critical thinking. This picture that you'll see on my left is like a Pinterest worthy chart, but let's be real. Like, this is something you have to have ready at the very beginning of your unit. So it doesn't always look that way. That's just real life. You know, we're busy, we're teachers. All you need, literally, to implement this in your classroom is a sheet of chart paper, 2 different color sticky notes, and a Sharpie or a marker. So this is a schema chart. And at the very beginning of your unit, of a nonfiction unit, you're going to ask the kids everything, all of their schema, everything that they know about that subject. You're going to write everything they say down, whether it's true or not. You write it down, you put it all on one colored sticky note. Then as you're reading your nonfiction books, you're talking about the topic. They're really focused on trying to pull out all of that new learning. And as they learn, after you've read, you know, your first nonfiction book, you go back, what are the new things that we've learned? And you write those down, stick them under their new learning. And it's also helping them think through their misconceptions. So anything that they thought was, you know, their schema or their prior knowledge, then they're going to learn through your nonfiction reading what is actually turns out not to be true. So you're going to move that down to misconceptions. So that is just one super simple, you can implement this right now idea that you can take back to your classroom, is schema charts. Okay, so then that brings us to the last part of my session, which is hands-on learning. And I know not everyone is a nature person, is a science person. I just happen to be. That is my thing. I love being outside. I love nature. I love exploring with my own boys. And so I love bringing that into my classroom with me. This is just a quote that I really am so passionate about and just would love for people to reflect on. It says, children are shut away in too many instances from a free contact with nature. Their needs now are so provided for and dangers so guarded against that we grow up with undeveloped capacities and an almost total ignorance of the world around us. So we want to be that person for our kids. And so many kids just don't get outside anymore. They don't get to get their hands on it. They don't get to explore nature. And so we need to be bringing that in for them and getting them excited about science. There's a picture on there of my own boys catching and gathering tadpoles, and I brought those into the classroom. My kids went crazy. They were so into my frog unit after I did that. And then there's another picture of my students. We were outside. They found this giant green caterpillar, and they were like so obsessed. They were just so intrigued by this giant, hideous caterpillar. And I know a lot of people would be like, don't touch it, get away from it. And we didn't touch it. But they spent the entire recess just like exploring and learning about it. So on the next slide, this is just one example of one of my most favorite hands-on activities. We do it around Earth Day. So it's reduce, reuse, and recycle. And it is just an amazing visual. So what it is I give them a little cup full of, we use chocolate Cheerios. And then that represents, we say, the tires in a dump. Okay, so each person has their own little individual dump. And our job is to smash up those tires and reduce the waste. So you can see in the pictures, we had drawn a line where the tires started out up in that top picture. And after they've smashed all their tires up, they have this amazing visual of how they've reduced the amount of waste in there. So after we've done that, then we mix it. We take a spoonful of pudding, and we mix that up, and we make concrete. So we've made our concrete by stirring up our tires and mixing it with pudding, which is the other ingredients when you're making this specific thing. And then on the next slide, you'll see what we've recycled our tires and made them into a road. So this is just you can talk about, reducing, reusing, and recycling all you want, but this is just an amazing visual and way for them to really meaningfully experience what that actually looks like and what that means. You can even talk about reusing by having them wash out the plastic cups that you've used, reuse those. So now you've done reducing, reusing, and recycling. So that is one of my favorite experiments that we do for during Earth Day, to really have that hands-on visual learning. So yeah, if you come to my session, I am in the K1 room, and we will really dig deep into all of those different aspects of science and just so many examples of each one of those things.
Thank you, Katie. Do you have something else? Did you want to say something else? I saw you going like, wait, I want something to say.
I just wanted to say, for joining us and tuning in, I did include a freebie that will really help to get you started. Especially if you're a primary K1-2 teacher, that will really help get you started with bringing that science into your classroom.
You literally just stole my next line, so that was the perfect thing to add. I was literally going to say, if you want Katie's free resource, here's what you have to do. So go to that. If you go to the link on the bottom of the screen, bit.ly/GYTO email in all caps, you're going to get that free resource from Katie tomorrow when it's sent out. So make sure you do that. Sign up for Get Your Teacher On's email list to get that free resource. Now, Katie, don't go anywhere. Our friends at Really Good Stuff love science and love making it hands-on. So they have another giveaway for you. So let's check out this message from our friends at Really Good Stuff.
Hey, it's Blake from the creative team over at Really Good Stuff and Steve Spangler Science. And today we get to talk about one of my favorite products that we offer called the Energy Stick. This is a really cool product, and I was lucky enough to even work on the packaging design for this, which is really cool because more than just the regular blister pack that you have hanging on the shelf, if you open these up, you get all of the extra educational value, activities and science connections. It's a pretty cool little activity guide built into the pack here. So let me show you what it does. I just so happen to have one right here. So the Energy Stick is a way to introduce concepts of electricity. When you complete the circuit here, static electricity is traveling around the outside of my body, and when I make the connection, the circuit goes off in a fun light and sound experience, basically. You can do other applications as well, like if you introduce leadership concepts, you can have the kids get in a circle and all connect hands, and electricity will travel through all of their hands as they hold hands until the last kid connects and makes the circuit, which is pretty cool. You can test different things like bowls of water. But anyway, that's just a couple clues. So here's what we're doing today is we're going to be giving away 4 packs of energy sticks, and all you have to do is comment below with the creative way that you can use energy sticks in your classroom. So comment away. Let us know what you think. And for another winner, we're also going to give away a $25 gift card to Really Good Stuff. All right, comment away. See you next time.
There you go. You heard it. So comment below how you would use energy sticks in your classroom. You can win those energy sticks or a $25 gift card. Also, let us know how many episodes you've watched of Get Your Teacher On Live this season for your chance to win those $50 gift cards just in this part one of our season finale. Now, Katie, something that teachers always ask is science. How do you fit it in? So I want to just close out the episode before we take a little break before part 2 with Hope and Wade. How do you fit it all in your classroom? With reading and math always being a priority, how do you make time to make sure you fit science into your classroom?
Okay, well, number one, I just wanted to say real quick, in my science session, we use the energy sticks, and
yes,
they are amazing. So yeah, Really Good Stuff does give us those for my session as well, and they are awesome. But yeah, so especially in the primary grades, like Literacy is definitely the priority, and a lot of times we don't have that science curriculum. So it is so important that you're integrating science throughout your day all the time. Like I said, if you're following Common Core, you're following your standards. I know Texas has the TEKS, but they're basically, a lot very similar. And the way that they're worded, you've got words like cite evidence, make predictions, clues from the text, all those kinds of things. So not only is that building language and literacy skills, but it's scientific literacy. So if you're really meeting those standards and following them the way that you should be creating little scientists. You should be creating little critical thinkers, and you should be integrating science constantly. But like I said, no matter what topic you're doing, really dig in and think about how you can pull that science into your curriculum. Like I showed you with that simple little Easter story that we read, it talks about how skunks smell. And so, if you're teaching kids to really wonder and think about, what you're reading to them, they're going to be wondering, why is that happening? Why is that skunk smelling? So that's your chance to pull in, that nonfiction and that science into your literacy block. So you're not taking away from literacy. You're just pulling that science in and integrating it into everything that you do.
There you go. Integrate, give your students those hands-on experiences, problem-solving, communication opportunities, really that higher level thinking, and you'll have scientists in your classroom. Katie, thanks so much for joining us tonight, and we'll see you at the next Get Your Teach On conference in LA in January. Yay. But we'll see everybody else tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time in just 30 minutes right here on the Get Your Teach On Facebook page for our live season finale, part 2 of our double feature. Starting at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, we have some big announcements. So here's my challenge to you. In the next 30 minutes, grab a snack and film a little promo on your Instagram story for tonight's episode of Get Your Teach On Live. So I want you going all out. Film an Instagram story, letting everyone know to head on over tonight at 8 o'clock, and we're going to choose a winner from those Instagram stories. So go ahead, post for extra chances to win, because we're still looking for our winner for that grand prize of the season, a free registration to our national conference. Fill that Instagram story, letting everyone know to head on over, and we'll see you at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time right here. See you soon.